He's one of the best guards in the NFL. But just a few years ago, nobody wanted him.
I had no Division I whatsoever offers. I'm, asking the same question of why.
To answer that question, we gotta go back to Hartford, Wisconsin, when Quinn Meinerz wasn't a starter. So he came up with a plan.
I was drinking gallons of milk a week, tons of protein shakes. I put on 80 pounds in 1 year.
And that's when a nickname was born, the Gut. By his senior year, Quinn was all-state on both sides of the ball. So it was time for the next step, Division I football.
No one really came through. It was all the really small schools. I had one scholarship offer, which was Division II St. Cloud State, but it was like $2,000 more expensive than any small school in Wisconsin. So it was whether I was going to Whitewater or lacrosse. Those are kind of the offers.
Quinn chose Whitewater. It was the better football program. And when he accepted, they couldn't believe it.
Even after he committed, we were like, well, somebody's going to find out about him. And he ended up here.
I think the mentality of D1 or bust, or I'm just trying to go to the NFL, I think that's the wrong mindset initially. The mindset needs to be you want to become the best football player you can be, and also be willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to be that person.
Quinn stood out right away, winning team MVP as a guard. But slowly, the Gut kept growing and growing.
The D3 football diet isn't the greatest. Our budget only allows for so much. We were eating Golden Corral, and then our nighttime snack was Domino's.
So in the offseason, he wanted to shrink the Gut. For his summer job, he flew to his great uncle's island in Canada, which had no weights whatsoever. So he got creative, brought his own stuff, and did whatever it took.
That's a propane tank. I think it's a little over 100 pounds, something like that. I set up a rack that I brought up kind of in the middle of the island. It was the most flat spot I could find. It's another one of those moments where it taught me that how motivated I am inside to just work harder than anybody else.
He posted the workouts to fire up his teammates. Quinn Meinerz 2.0 was here, faster, stronger, and ready to dominate his senior year. But that opportunity never came.
The Division II and Division III fall championship season has been canceled for the upcoming school year.
The moment it was kind of gut-wrenching to hear that, because this could really impact, this journey that I'm trying to go on to get to the NFL, because not playing your senior season as a Division III football player is unheard of, and then go in the NFL and get drafted, which is doesn't really happen.
All the scouts had was Quinn's junior tape, the old Quinn Meinerz. All the hard work. He didn't even get a chance to show it. But he focused on what he could control, become a better football player. And to make himself a more versatile prospect, he decided to learn a new position.
I taught myself how to play center in the backyard, snapping into a garbage can with a pizza paddle on it. And I knew it was a good snap if it hit the pizza paddle.
And then I would upload those videos to YouTube on my personal channel, watch myself and critique my film of, hey, why is the ball going more to the right when I'm trying to go left?
But to truly level up, he needed real-life coaching.
I was able to go down to Texas, and I trained with Duke Manyweather and Rashawn Slater. And we spent about 3 weeks together, and a lot of technique. Duke really changed my stance.
His agent sent the workouts to Jim Nagy, the man who runs the Senior Bowl, college football's biggest showcase for NFL prospects. The film caught Nagy's attention, and he put Quinn on the reserve list. Quinn kept working his ass off every single day. But the clock kept ticking.
It was 2 weeks out, and I kind of lost hope at that point. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to the Senior Bowl. This sucks.
I never wish injury upon anybody, but that was what it was going to take, either another opt-out or two, or someone gets hurt in some game.
Then in the SEC Championship game, Bama center Landon Dickerson tears his ACL, and suddenly Quinn's phone starts ringing.
This is Jim Nagy. You want to put that Warhawk helmet on one more time? And I just started crying, because it was just 13 months of work. I did everything I could without having a season. I just couldn't wait to get down there.
I was so ready to throw up and cry. It was horrible. Honestly, a switch. As soon as I got to that locker room, I put my helmet on. Shoulder pads. I walked out through that tunnel. It was I'm confident I'm going to rip your face off. Let's go.
Quinn Meinerz, another pancake. This is kind of getting borderline ridiculous what he's doing up front this week.
A rising star in social media because of his prop top nature is Wisconsin-Whitewater, which I didn't even know was a school, by the way. Quinn Meinerz.
So a lot of the things that you're seeing at the Senior Bowl were first time type of things. So I've never really played center before until the Senior Bowl. I've never passed that out of a 2-point stance ever.
Finally, the world saw the work he put in.
It's cool to have this moment where people are starting to find out, who I am.
Twitter blew up and the gut was everywhere. Quinn had just turned undrafted into a day 2 projection. Now it was time to raise the stakes again. Pro Day, where all 32 teams flew to Wisconsin-Whitewater. Quinn finished top 5 in every drill. There was no doubt anymore. He was one of the best guards in the draft.
At mid-end of the second is where I was, anticipating going.
But on draft day, round 2 went by and no phone call.
So I had like a lot of this kind of anxiety type of energy, and as I kept falling down the boards, it kind of started turning into more free motivation of just proving people wrong.
But in the 3rd round at pick 98,
Quinn,
how's it going?
how you doing, man? Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
You excited to be a Bronco?
Yes, sir.
Ready to get to work?
Of course, I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. Love to hear it.
but when he got to Denver, reality hit fast. The jump from D3 to the NFL was huge. Not just the talent, but the playbook. So he barely saw the field. Until week 9, when Graham Glasgow went down with a season-ending injury and Quinn got a shot.
27 ends up, making the tackle, but I tried to push him down and fall on top of him.
There he goes. There's your backup backer, number 3 guy in the...
Although he showed some flashes, he wasn't happy with his rookie tape. So by 2022, he came back leaner and was named Denver's starting right guard. But in the season opener, he injured his hamstring and was out for 4 games. He came back in week 5 and looked like a completely different player, giving up only 3 sacks on 479 snaps. His tape looked very promising, but on a 5-12 team, nobody notices a guard. The next season, he was comfortable. It was his 3rd year in the league and he was fully healthy. And that's when Quinn Meinerz went crazy. He started all 17 games, and PFF rated him as the best run-blocking guard in football. Some media even voted him as the Broncos' offensive MVP. And that's when Denver knew they had something special.
Broncos locking in Quinn Meinerz to a long-term contract extension. One of the most dominant young guards in the National Football League is here to stay. A 4-year extension worth up to $80 million. $45 million of that guaranteed. He's set to make $24 million in the first year of his deal.
It was a beautiful moment, and Quinn wanted to thank everyone who helped him get there.
Yeah, first and foremost is definitely my wife. She's always supported this entire dream. I would say at times she believed in me more than I believed in myself. She has been, supportive the entire time, telling me to chase this dream that I wasn't sure if it was possible or not. My dad was extremely helpful too. I didn't have a ton of money, I wasn't really working, and so my dad was helping me with that. Every couple weeks we would meet at a Best Buy and he would drop off like 70 pounds of ground beef. Then obviously my agent, he believed in me.
By 2024, he was no longer this D3 story. He was one of the highest paid guards in the league, and for the first time, he was voted team captain. There were expectations on him now, and slowly, they got to him.
I worked with a mental performance coach. He helped me kind of put those things in boxes. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and it definitely did affect my play early in the season.
But he bounced back and put up the best season of his career, becoming a dominant force in the run game while giving up just 1 sack in the year. So at the end of the season, Quinn finally got some recognition. The gut from Wisconsin-Whitewater, with 0 offers, made first team All-Pro.
It was life-changing and generational wealth at the beginning of the season, overcoming mental hurdles with the contract and stuff like that. Played one of my best seasons, and it turned out to be viewed as the best season by a right guard. I'm proud of myself. I was teaching myself center in my dad's backyard during COVID. They had 1 spot left at the Senior Bowl, and I was playing center, and I was like, well, I've never played center before, but I just got to get in.
If someone back in 2020 told you you'd be standing here, would you have believed them?
No, I wouldn't even believe myself, but living by the phrase hard work pays off. I know it's a cliche, but when you actually live by those types of things, great things like this can happen.
If y'all want more stories, please like and subscribe. See you at the next one. Have a blessed day.